Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today it's time for another round of a diverse world. Let's hit play, we'll use the default settings, start the game and see how we do. Oh wow, looking straight up at the sun this time, a bit unusual, not used to that being the first. We seem to be in a bit of trouble here. We are drunk, it seems. I've never had this before, but I cannot navigate down. And it looks like the camera is at a complete angle. Okay, we seem to have landed on our feet, but now when I scroll, look at this. I've never seen that. That's quite funny, isn't it? The controls seem to be rather messed up. I can't now. I'm going to hit the flag again and go back to the beginning because we did see at least some. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is quite funny, really. Oh my goodness. It's totally bonkers. Well, we're upside down, so maybe we're in Australia? That's an option. I hear things there are upside down. So, well, without any further ado, it's quite hard to tell what direction we're looking in here. That is the sun, and it is firmly in the east. If this was the direction, but I'm not sure if this directional challenge that we're having is messing up the compass as well. So I'm not going to rely on that. We've got this brown, sort of reddish brown soil. You know what? Given that we're upside down, I like the idea of going for Australia because I mean, they're all upside down there, aren't they? Where are we? Let's go for somewhere in New South Wales. It looks sort of relatively plush here with these beautiful palms and so on. Maybe we're more up here. We're more up by Brisbane and so on. We don't really often guess around here. So let's go up there, somewhere in the countryside. Oh, well, not so good. We were actually in Brazil. Look, that one, it's fair to say, was not easy, not the best round. I didn't fancy exploring too hard. We were right about being in the southern hemisphere, but that's about it. So clearly we're not onto a winner there. This is more like it. Now this is just gorgeous. I mean, look at the fantastic scenery we have here. Very barren. I mean, this looks like Mars almost, really, doesn't it? Obviously, apart from the infrastructure. We've got some fantastic cacti here. These very unusual alien-like cacti. We're over a river that's sort of dried up. The sun is in the north, so we're in the southern hemisphere. This feels like, South Argentina or Chile. There's a sign here, so I'm just going to look at this. Should yield us some clues. Often not really worth going too far down the roads here because it's a long way to get anywhere, frankly. You could be doing that forever. So we're looking for Tastil here. I think we're going to be down here. Maybe on this sort of border. So let's just get in there. Tres Lagos, La Leone. Now, this is the sort of road I'm thinking, the 40. What do we have here, for example? This is the 40. Puente Blanco. Well, that's not it, obviously, but we're on a river at least there, and that's exactly that looks like the kind of right proportions, doesn't it? There's no real reason to believe we're in Argentina over Chile at the moment. That's just a guess on my part. There's the 9 as well. We could easily be on the 9. Just looking for rivers. This looks like it's sort of quite a major river. So, I mean, what's here, for example? That looks like one. But the road doesn't actually cross it there, so that's interesting. No, not sure. Could be further up. Could be sort of around here. Again, quite hard to tell. What's this? This is quite a major river here, isn't it? Not sure. Well, look, we've got a good guess there, I think. The sun is firmly in the north, so I think we're quite far south. Let me try and see what's up here. There was a sign there, but it's just going to say the same thing. Let's go for a bit of an explore, see if anything comes up, especially given we didn't spend long on the last round. Now, what do we have up here? We're seeing some things, some signs of life. I'll go to this sign, that or mural that's on the wall there. Let's see what this says. If it says anything at all. Might give us some direction, you know, in terms of the colours that are in there. They're the country colours, not really, not certainly. Very light blue of Argentina maybe, but hard to tell. We've got here a basketball court. We could be coming up to something here, so I'm going to keep going. We've got the Red Cross sign for a hospital, I presume. And what do we have here? A few flagpoles, but no flags on them, unfortunately. This is a bit of some kind of settlement, you know. Can't read that. Something 2.800. That might be the altitude. We might be at 2,800 meters, which, if that's the case, I'm not sure they have that kind of altitude in South America, actually. Maybe it's more central, you know, like Peru. I mean, it's still South America, obviously, but you know what I mean. In the southern part of the 83. Was that? Is that a number that we see? 83? So maybe that puts us in the hills, in which case there's more, you know, way more mountains sort of up in the northern part of Chile. So I'm getting more confused by the moment here. I'm going to go more up around here. This is still very far south, so we're sort of sufficiently below the equator to have the sun firmly in the north. But I know that the sort of mountains around here are much, much higher, and I think that makes a bit of sense given the numbers that we just saw. So maybe we're on this road, for example, here, if there is one. Actually, there kind of isn't, is there? Oh dear. Struggling now a bit. So let's go for a guess. Look, I'm going to say we're on the Argentinian side. Let's go for this Rio here. Again, I don't see a road, so that's a bit frustrating. But well, why don't we go for a road? We'll say there. And I'm going based on the altitude that I'm assuming we're at, which puts us more in these mountains as opposed to the southern part. You see, and we're further north still, so I'm glad I didn't go right for the bottom. We were in Argentina, and we were... Was there a road number there? The 51. Didn't see that necessarily, but okay. Look, very good. I'm happy with that. We were in the right neck of the woods. Next round. This almost looks the same again, doesn't it? Wow, this is barren. This is barren. I mean, the scenery is incredible, but look at the habitats here. I mean, come on. What do we have? Do need some help here in terms of getting some signs or a flag. This could easily be sort of Mongolia, as far as I'm aware, but it also could be anywhere in South America. There's some real barren lands out in South America, and this could be one of them. I mean, just look at this sort of way of life here. It's pretty tough, I think. It would be a pretty tough place to live, this. This is not easy living. I mean, these fenced off areas are all for presumably keeping cattle and so on. Don't see anything on the horizon in terms of flags. This is lunar. We said the other place was like Mars. This is like the moon, isn't it? Really. Oh, and this is as far as I can go. Ah, we've reached the end of the Street View van. The moon rover, the Street View moon rover. Couldn't go any further. Back to the start. Can we go the other way? Can we go this way? Yes. Okay, that we can do. It extends. The sun, again, firmly in the north, so that puts us in the south. Here we've got some signs. Let's try and work this out. And I see a flag there as well. We'll come to that in a second. That's handwritten, so you can't read that. Campo Verde. AV Campo Verde. Something green. Well, it's not very green, is it? Let's be honest. Is that a Brazilian flag? No, I mean, it's certainly not Brazilian. What is this now? This is interesting. I don't recognize that as being South American at all. If anything, it looks quite European because of these lions, gold lions holding up a shield. It's very kind of middle-agey almost, really, isn't it? That is unusual. That is unusual. This might be, so this is obviously a regional flag. We've got here rivers, 2 rivers on the flag, so that is something. I'd be very curious to know what. Now we can go up this way, it seems. No, we cannot. Interesting. Well, look, I think we've explored this place about as much as possible, really. Can't go much further. Unfortunately, the signs are really, there's not a lot there. This is special, this place. It really is. What are we going to go for? I think we're clearly at altitude. It's clearly quite a poor area. It feels like we're in South America. The sun is in the north, so we're in and this is not Africa, and this is not Australia, and this is not New Zealand. So it puts us in this somewhere in this region that we're looking at now. So the question is where. Could be as high up as Peru here, Bolivia, Chile, though, in Argentina. I have never seen anything quite like this in Argentina. I think we might be up here in like Bolivia, for example. I don't know where the high altitude regions are exactly in Bolivia, but I know that La Paz is very high. And obviously the coast is on the coast. So, somewhere up here feels high. And we're clearly surrounded by mountains. I know that these hills don't look big, but this country feels big. I mean, look at the size of these ginormous hills. I think this isn't like we're sitting at sea level here and the mountains are up around us. We are already high up in these already, ginormous mountains. So I think that puts us around somewhere like here, So I'm not sure what to think. Again, I don't know exactly where we are, of course, but perhaps we're in one of these roads here that we can see winds up through these ginormous hills. So I'm going to go for this as a guess. And we weren't in Bolivia. We were is that Peru? No, it's the top of Chile. Okay. Right neck of the woods, but right on the coast. That surprises me. Here am I talking about mountains, but there we are. Surrounded by some huge hills, but, clearly on the coast. So, fair enough. What do I know? I think glad that we got the right neck of the woods, though. In, comparison to the size of the South American continent. Sun now firmly in the south, so that's good. We're in the northern hemisphere and surrounded by pine trees. So this could be anywhere. It could be Europe, could be the U.S. Let's go south, shall we? Got some sort of trailer homes here. This feels, more and more North American as we go. We've got the typical post boxes that you see there. So this feels like we're in the US. No signs as such. Let's keep going. In these places, best to make some progress, really. Get out, get onto a main road. It's quite a residential area here. And unless you find a road or a state flag by, let's say, one of the people's houses, you could easily be sort of lost for a while. So best to make a move, get to a big road, see what we can find. In terms of the trees, kind of, they look a bit evergreeny, don't they? I'm not really a specialist with this kind of thing, but this could be sort of in the, well, I don't know really. This feels like it could be anywhere. It could be in Tennessee, it could be in Georgia, or we could be up somewhere a bit further north. Oh. Saw a sign there earlier. I've learned that backing out is not an option to get back to some of these things. We're really looking for, is it worth it? Oh, maybe not. I don't see it anymore either. Yes, there it is. What does this sign say? Give me some love. Come on. Damn, I think it's just the real estate agent's sign, and unless they have the state. Carolina 1 real estate. Well, it was worth going back to. Okay. So in the Carolinas, we know we have north and south, but that really whittles us down here. So if we get to a road, we should be able to find, find that in the Carolinas. By that, what I'm trying to say is, if we get to a main road, we're clearly on one, but if we need the number really. Silverstone Road is the name that we've just found, so that's good. And we've got a long straight road here. Look, I'm not making much progress, I don't think, in this direction. So I'm actually going to go back to the start. And I think we started off south, so let's go north this time and see if we get somewhere sort of a bit quicker. If not, we'll just make a guess in the Carolinas. But you've got to call it a day at some point. We found the clue about the state there, so that's really helpful. Unfortunately, with these kind of roads, you just never know if you are going in the wrong direction. You could be facing away from a major freeway and just spend, the next 10 minutes sort of going the wrong way, really. So worth exploring a touch in both directions to satisfy the regret feeling that you might have. Although, that being said, I feel like we're kind of exhausting this one as well. Let's just go and see what's around this corner, and if we can't find anything there, we will go and make a guess. And it doesn't look like anything's coming up, does it? Not really. So, we'll end with this lovely view of all these trees. It really does look quite nice. We've narrowed it down to at least one of two states. I think I'm going to go with North Carolina. And, North Carolina, quite big. Well, actually, there's no reason to say it's north or south. Why should we do that? So the area we're looking at here, it includes South Carolina. I'm just going to go for something in the middle. Let's go for somewhere around here, because it looks like we're sort of pretty rural, and this looks like a rural stretch. So let's go for somewhere near Ruby. Why not? Ruby's a nice name, so let's go for there. Good, and we were actually in South Carolina, so that was good to take a bet somewhere in the middle. Where were we exactly? We were in the Francis Marion National Forest, and look at that. Going north, we would have eventually got to the 41. That is where we would have got to. So glad we didn't go south for too much further, but we still didn't quite get to the 41. So better luck next time. And the final round. This also looks like North America to me, at least at a first glance. Definitely more built up. So why don't we see what we can find? Here, look, Canadian flag. Boom. So we're in Canada. Now, which direction are we going to take a bet in? This guy's coming from this way, so clearly there's something down here. We're clearly in sort of suburban Canada, so now we need to find out the suburb of which town. Schools help here, so do churches. What does this school say here? Jean Vanier Catholic Elementary School, discover the joy of our faith. Welcome back. Jean Vanier. Well, that sounds French. Jean Vanier. So that puts us in this sort of eastern side of Canada, but quite where, you know, it could still be sort of anywhere. There's Ontario, Quebec, and then, you know, even further east, those places all sort of have a bit of French, I think, in one form or another. So not sure. That doesn't, what does that say? I can't read that, unfortunately, so that's a bit annoying. It's just too small, just too small a sign there. I often think it's funny that signs are too small to read from Street View, because if you are making a sign like that one there, you know, it's clearly meant to tell people something. And so, you know, imagine if you're walking around with, you know, bad eyesight or whatever, you know, and the sign is meant to tell people what's there. It should be clear like this. I can clearly read it. John O'Neill, elect him. I get the message, you know, whereas the other one there, it's just, the writing was just so small. It's like, why bother? You know, clearly they don't think about people playing GeoGuessr enough. That's my takeaway. Well, we're going out of town here, so worth a quick glance to see if there really isn't anything. You know, hoping, you know, next town, 3 miles, you know, here's the name of it. Let's go back to the beginning. It looked quite luscious, did that sort of scenery, didn't it, actually? Maybe luscious is the wrong word, but pretty verdant. So I think we're clearly in sort of the southern part of Canada. French-speaking, I'm going to go for the French-speaking, based purely on the guy's name, Jean Vanier. I mean, of course, we could be still on the western side of Canada. Mohawk, you know, so we've got some sort of native North American style names in here as well. That still could put us anywhere, even out in Calgary or Alberta, Saskatchewan. So who knows? This is also a main road, so just willing to explore this for a bit longer, see where we get to. I'm not sure there if we just crossed the intersection or not. Yes, we actually did. So that's... Okay, well, I think we've got a name here of a town. On this... Oh, goodness. Come on. Scroll for me. Brantford. Military Museum, Mohawk Chapel, Woodland Cultural Centre. So Brantford. Well, Brantford, Canada. Where the heck does that put us? I don't know, unfortunately. Without the state, it's not really worth looking. This looks like a pretty built-up area as well, so let's get in here. We've got a maple leaf on a sign. Give me some love. Oh, not a maple leaf. The Islamic Centre of Brantford. I thought from a distance that the spires on this mosque here that is being depicted is where the points on a maple leaf. So, whoops. We've got confirmed there the sign is much clearer here. Brantford. Let's keep going. This looks like the city centre, so... What is this guy? Ontario. That's what I'm looking for. Different town name, but assuming it's close. Ontario. Brantford. So what do we have in Ontario? So most of habitation is around here, basically from Ottawa down to Detroit. So I think what I'm going to do is just look down here and see if there's any sort of townships or villages that I can see. So we're looking for places like Glen Tay. So Carleton, Smiths, Glen Tay, Brantford. And if we see this guy's place as well, we know we're nearby Hearst. Odessa, Forest Mills, Tweed, Thomas, Roslyn. What was this guy's name again? Hearst. Brantford and Hearst. Havelock, Norwood, Woodview, Douro, Coburg, Peterborough. I mean, it could be this. Peterborough looks like a bigger place, so maybe we're looking for that, but it could be one of these small, like Utica, Uxbridge. We're coming into Toronto now. We'll skirt around the outside of Toronto because I don't think we're in there. Brantford. Corpton, Shelburne, Cardwell. Brampton. We've got a Brampton. I can't believe I missed that already. Cambridge. Brooksdale. Brantford. Yes. Is that it? That could be it. Don't see a Hearst nearby, but let's get some street names. We're kind of in the middle here, I feel, already. So we're looking for Greenwich Street and Icom Drive. Well, those should be pretty obvious. Greenwich Street, Icom, and Clarence. Greenwich. Yes, we've made it. This is it. Greenwich, Icom, and Clarence. That is where we are. We now need to find out where we started, which I can't really remember, to be honest, at all. So I think we went north. We went up here first, didn't we? We're looking for the street name here that we started on. We found it, so I'm going to get there. Division Street. Okay, we can remember Division Street. So we went up here. Got to the end of this road, didn't we? So we're now heading northwest. So we started northwest, then we turned northeast and made our way northeast to here. So where did we come up to? Maybe we came down here, the Veterans Memorial Parkway. Not sure. Let's get this name. This is the road we took to get to the intersection we were at. Mohawk and Minton. That's right, it was Mohawk, wasn't it? Mohawk is there. Changes into Greenwich. We started here, somewhere around here. Minton. There is Minton. That is where we started, on this little intersection right here, Division Street. Flag. Back to the house. There's a couple of homes there. And we're right next to this sort of triangle in the road, which is a unique feature. So that really helps us nail it down. So that's where we are. Brilliant. Found it. View summary. Well, we finished on a high, thank goodness, because we weren't doing very well otherwise. Not even 16,000 points this round, 15,590, but we really nailed it in the end. We had a funny one to begin with. Australia was my guess because we were upside down, but actually it was an American heavy round. South America's, we were, well, the first one was actually in Brazil, very hard to tell really. Second and third, you know, we were dossing around Argentina, Bolivia a bit, didn't quite nail either of those. Then we moved north and we were in the United States and Canada. The US we did pretty well, and Canada even better. So I would say, fair to say that the round got better as we went on. I hope you enjoyed playing this game with me today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.